as we all know, the current political strategy of the conservative party in America is to defeat the Democrats once and for all by pointing out that Hunter Biden has a girthy 9-incher. The other day, Marjorie Taylor Greene showed Biden nudes on the Congress floor. I can't show you guys what she showed Congress because of YouTube's TOS. The images were censored, but only just barely. Not enough to convincingly skirt YouTube TOS. I'll describe the images. I feel like I should, let me play the audio. Here, first let me play the audio. Here we go, okay? So, all right, get ready. I'm gonna walk you through this like it's gonna be an audio visual experience. All right, here. Let me turn the volume up and let's go.
One more second here. So when Hunter Biden paid for this woman to do this with him.
Okay. So there are 4 censored images that are all next to each other on a large, maybe 2-foot wide cork board, or no, a poster board that she's holding up. The first of them is a woman cradling what appears to be a large black sensor bar that is longer than her hands are from fingertip to wrist. The second one is Hunter and a woman whose face has been blacked out watching television. The third is another of the same. And the fourth is a photo of a woman from behind with a black sensor bar hiding and presumably that she has between a thigh gap that is still visible. That's how loose these, or that's how tight these censorship bars are, by the way, okay? I swear to God, in this last photo, the black rectangle, probably ends at the pixel that her lips do, and past that, there's a triangle thigh gap. So this is in Congress. She's just holding up a big white board with these photos. Yeah, okay. So she has more.
To travel across state lines from California to Washington, D.C. on June 15th. This is a violation of the Mann Act. This was prostitution.
Okay. This clip doesn't go on for very long. She showed more pictures. I'm looking at another white poster board that she is holding up. It has text on it that says, Hunter recorded multiple sex tape with a prostitute he had paid for out of his law firm's bank account. There are 3 photos. He's having sex with a woman. She's sucking his... It's the whole 9 yards. This goes on for a while. She looks cool, I genuinely don't know what to say. These are fairly graphic images. I have so much to say about this that it's actually kind of insane. As I've talked about before, the central conspiracy theory that Republicans want to press against Hunter Biden is that Hunter Biden has done quid pro quo favors where he has gotten money and in exchange he's promised his father political favors to the boards of companies in, say, China. And then Biden actually followed through on those promises. No evidence of this has been found. There are texts of Hunter Biden basically saying, please give me money and my dad will like you. And the corporation's going, really? Really, he will? Here's the money. Really, he will? And by then, Hunter Biden is already, passed out on a giant pile of cocaine. No evidence has been found of Biden actually doing favors for other people in exchange for money being provided to Hunter. That's that. If you'll recall, right before the 2020 election, when the Hunter laptop story broke, coincidentally 1 month before the election, the range of initial accusations was that Hunter Biden was a pedophile and that the laptop was full of child. It wasn't. That was a complete lie. The first step of the Hunter Biden smear campaign was Republicans making that up 1 month before the 2020 election in a last-ditch effort to pull down Biden's, campaign numbers, which obviously didn't end up working because Biden won. But that was their attempt. Now, they've stopped talking about the child pornography thing because, again, they just made that up. It was a lie. They've shifted to a new talking point now, which is this conspiracy theory with Joe Biden quid pro quo favors. Now, they can't prove that one either. There is one thing they can prove, and it is that Hunter Biden has a big... They have excessive evidence to this point. Hunter Biden is a drug addict, or at least was a drug addict, probably still is, let's be real. And also, for some reason, Hunter Biden, despite having a father who is, let's say, politically relevant, Hunter Biden is obsessed with taking photos of every sexual encounter that he has. I have no idea why. You would think he is an OnlyFans model. He takes photos of everything that he does. I don't know why. He cannot get erect without a camera in his hand. If somebody is slobbing on his knob, it is not even remotely pleasurable unless it is being recorded, and he is completely careless with these media files. So they've made their way into Marjorie Taylor Greene's hands. Right. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene is making the argument that Hunter Biden is, like, engaging in prostitution or whatever. Let me be clear. None of these are real legal concerns. First of all, if soliciting prostitution was an actual crime in D.C., we would not have a government. There would no longer be a government. There would be no one left to run it. For two, it has nothing to do with matters of Congress. I don't know how many people in my audience are fully familiar with the processes of the U.S. government and legal jurisdiction, but as it so happens, Congress is not actually responsible for going after petty crimes of individual citizens, which bear no relevance to the functioning of government. Not actually their role. It's not actually what they do. You know, she might as well have gotten photos of him running a red light or doing a rolling stop at a four-way intersection. So it comes across, in my opinion, as rather weak. I'm also going to say this is really embarrassing for the GOP. The Republicans seem to think that Hunter Biden is embarrassing for Joe Biden, but I have never seen a Democrat care. Literally, I just haven't. There are text messages that have been made public between Joe Biden and Hunter Biden where Joe Biden says something to the effect of, "I love you, my son. I need you to get help. No matter what, I'm here for you." And that pretty much sealed the deal right there. Because the hope that Republicans had would be that Joe Biden was as much of a callous monster as the people they field. That Joe Biden would be embarrassed by his son, that he would be a political mistake that he would try to shove off or push aside. But Joe Biden, for whatever his faults, actually is a human being, and for that reason, his attitude towards his son is actually a pretty heartwarming one. And for that reason, there is no embarrassment here. Yeah, if anything, it's a reaffirmation of Joe Biden's humanity. It makes him look kind of better. See, embarrassing children are not really a problem unless you're the kind of piece of shit to care about them. You understand what I mean? This is like an aristocrat problem. Oh, my son's been causing such a fuss and embarrassing me in front of the well-to-do. You know, this is a problem for some types of people, but not for Irish Catholics. You have that many kids and some of them are bound to turn out crack addicts, right? I just don't think this is embarrassing for Joe Biden. Not even a little. I think, however, that it is humiliating for Marjorie Taylor Greene and the Republican Party broadly for her to be holding up big whiteboard poster prints of Hunter Biden being hung on the Congress floor. It looks really bad for them. I understand that, like, civility politics basically don't exist in the country anymore, but there's a pretty big gap between Donald Trump openly insulting everyone who disagrees with him and just holding up, like, pornography of your political opposition on a poster board. There is a huge difference there. I would be willing to bet that right now, behind the scenes, Republicans are really upset with Marjorie Taylor Greene because this does make her and them look fucking psychotic. Oh, that's a good point, Blablato. It's also possible that this is being done in response to a funny meme that Joe Biden did and his campaign did just one day before the Hunter Biden Congress scandal. I can't believe that I forgot about this. It might be a direct response to it.
Joe Biden had the largest public investment in social infrastructure and environmental programs that is actually finishing what FDR started that LBJ expanded on and Joe Biden is attempting to complete. Programs to address education, medical care, urban problems, rural poverty, transportation, Medicare, Medicaid, labor unions. And he still is working on it.
Without flaw. So that released on the 18th. Marjorie Taylor Greene's escapades happened on the 19th. I think it's very possible that Marjorie Taylor Greene felt kind of humiliated by a gigantic and widely received clip chimp of a campaign ad for her opposition and responded with this, which makes her look desperate and pathetic. It also drags a lot of attention towards her, and populist far-right types make a lot of their money off of direct donations and the attention that they warrant, rather than any, like, actual institutional behavior they engage in. So my guess is that this was an impromptu thing she did to try to fire back at Joe Biden. That's just a guess of mine. I don't know that for sure. I doubt she would actually admit to being so upset by the ad that that was the reason she did this. But I just think it's a net loss for the GOP. It looks so bad for them. It's so dumb. It's really, really, really funny, though. Yeah. AOC did respond to Marjorie Taylor Greene doing her wacky little bit.
Today also marked a new low when graphic images were paraded in this hearing room. Chairman Comer, last October, you told Time magazine that you were not interested in the sordid details of Hunter Biden's life. You were quoted as saying, quote, "That's counter to a credible investigation," and I agree. Sadly, that is a reflection of how low some individuals here have been willing to go in their efforts to attack the president and his family. And frankly, I don't care who you are in this country. No one deserves that.
In my personal opinion, I think that laughing at her would have been a better response than doing the civility politics bit. I mean, can you imagine how quickly the wind would have fallen out of Marjorie Taylor Greene's sails? If you were like, oh yeah, they made an ad using your voice the other day, and then your response is to bring a bunch of dick pics to Congress. It's pathetic, you know. But whatever. AOC has big doe eyes, so she plays to her strengths. Now, as people in chat have pointed out, this isn't just porn, it's revenge porn, not consensually leaked nudes. And additionally, I don't know if you're aware of this, anyone can just watch C-SPAN and look at Congress, adult or child, and it's actually a little bit weird for the party that seems to be so concerned with exposing youth to sexually explicit material that Marjorie Taylor Greene would show barely censored pornography on C-SPAN, a non-age gated channel, to be entered into the halls of congressional archives. It's actually very strange. Some people are arguing that this may bring about some kind of legal consequence. It won't, because people in Congress can break any law they want without consequence, so I don't expect this to lead to anything. May have violated DC revenge porn law, not to mention the fact that it would have been shown to children, banned the distribution of obscene materials to minors. I don't think she'll face any legal consequences for this, but I want you to burn this into your head for the rest of your lives, okay? Republicans have dedicated an entire political campaign to fear-mongering over sexually explicit material being shown to children, and then one of their loudest advocates just held up giant prints of revenge pornography on C-SPAN for everyone to see. Just keep that forever in your mind as like a permanent feature of the arguments that you will use, Because of course they don't care. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, as is the case for all Republican politicians, is children, so she doesn't have any immediate moral qualms to it. That is certainly, it's not something that personally bothers her. But I think it's a bit weird personally. Just a little bit. Oh, and by the way, I can't show it on YouTube, but go look at the clips of her doing this. Congress. Like, if you're watching this as a YouTube video, go look at it. Unless you're underage. If you're overage, then go look at it. Like, I want to make it so clear that the level of censorship that has been done is nowhere near sufficient to sanitize the images from the graphic context that they were obviously taken in. Has Biden responded? He won't. It would be, I sincerely doubt that he would. There's no point for him to. It's why dignify it. It's just so embarrassing for the right, If he does acknowledge it, then it would probably be like 2 months from now. Somebody at a press conference will ask him something that Marjorie Taylor Greene did, and he'll say something like, oh, I know she's a big fan of my son, but no, I didn't see that. And then that would be the end of it. And if he did that, I think that would actually be, like, optically the most effective possible thing that he could do or say. For all of Biden's faults, I can see a good man. Oh, I've got big problems with Biden's administration. Biden himself is a regular human with regular human emotions. I think that much is obvious. Far more so than Obama. Obama is like this freaky sociopath jock who, like, when I, like, Obama, I reminds me of, like, Dennis from It's Always Sunny or something, where he has this, like, Patrick Bateman cool thing going on, but you know for a fact that sometimes he grips his knuckles and stares in the mirror of his, like, the White House bathroom, and he's, like, staring dead-eyed at himself, and he's, like, you know, having a internal, like, momentary mental crisis or something. Just some psycho shit. I don't think Joe Biden does any of that. I never got that impression. No, Obama was a fucking psycho, man. I'm not saying he's stupid, and I'm not saying that he's, like, malicious necessarily, but he's, if Obama was represented fairly in media, like, he would be one of those guys who plays it cool, but the moment something doesn't go his way, he, like, crushes the glass that he's holding and it like sprays everywhere. Does that make any sense? Like, I'm somebody who does a very good job keeping, like, a cool persona, but it's a front for, like, an internal, not at all. Okay, never mind. Whatever. I'm literally, like, psychoanalyzing a person who I've never met. I stand by my assessment. Whatever. We're moving on. Like Gus Fring. You know, I was thinking of saying like Gus Fring, but then I was like, well, people are going to say I'm racist because they're both black. Because you can't compare one black person to another black person for reasons not related to race at all, without, you know, people accusing you of just comparing all black people. However, yes. You're describing the Key and Peele Obama anger translator. Yeah, they made that joke. Yeah, literally. Yeah. That's the problem. Dude, that's the problem if you want to be Obama, okay? Think about it. You're black, and one day you're going to be president. What can't you do if you want to be president? You can't show anger. If you're white, you can show anger. White people show anger all the time in public settings, politically. When black people show anger, you know what happened when black people, black women show anger? It gets used against them forever. There are so many stereotypes. So you gotta bottle that in. A little core right there in your belly, you know? Obama is a product of Chicago politics. Chicago politics weeds out the non-sociopaths. Oh, sure, you know, the Windy City blows away all the weak-hearted.